What's up, savvy expats? We always talk about why you should move to the Philippines, but the more important question to ask yourself before you even come here is, why shouldn't you move to the Philippines? Because let's be real here, this polarizing country isn't going to be for everyone. The last thing I want for you is to spend years on end consuming content on a country that a lot of vloggers here claim to be the promised land, but later you end up with shattered expectations. That being said, if you fall into one of these 5 categories that we're about to discuss, then the Philippines is not for you. Enough talk, let's get straight into this. At number 1, the Philippines is not for you if you aren't earning a steady stream of foreign income or have a decent amount of savings. Look, I talk to expats every day looking for assistance with their transition here. And I'll tell you what, I always go, John, you live in gorgeous California or sunny Florida, so why the Philippines? And gosh, you know, the same 4-letter phrase rings in my head every day at this point because I hear it all the time. They always say, bang for your buck. So the point I'm trying to make here is that for most, the driving incentive to move to the Philippines is for the affordability aspect. And part of the reason why the Philippines is so affordable is due to the favorable exchange rates here. I mean, come on, the current exchange rate is like 58 pesos to the dollar. Coming from the States, we're fortunate enough to have the privilege of living a high quality life here simply because of the fact we earn in dollars. And I know it sounds very harsh, but if it was the other way around, say I had to work a local job or earn in pesos, do you think I'd still live here or even advocate for the Philippines? Yes, I love this country, but as harsh and as privileged as it may sound, honestly, no. Fortunately, just like you probably come here to the Philippines, I'm in a privileged position to earn in USD and so enjoy the pleasures that come along with that. Chances are you are too, and that's why the Philippines spikes your interest. Being able to eat out every day, take weekend trips out to the beaches, live in a high-rise condo within a metropolitan city for an affordable price, this can all be done. So even if you're not earning top 1% income in the States, what may not be a lot there goes a very long way here. Now, if you're looking to work here remotely as a digital nomad and your gig is paying you in USD or other favorable currencies relative to the peso, then by all means, that's completely fine. But if on the flip side of the coin, you're looking to work a local Philippine job paying you in pesos, in that case, I wouldn't necessarily advise that. So if you do have a comfortable amount of savings in USD and you do have a steady income coming in, then by all means, I will say you'll love the Philippines. If you'll be working remotely here with an international company paying you in USD, you'll live very well. But if you're clinging onto the idea that you'll easily find a high salary, peso paying job here, then that's unrealistic. So to wrap up my point, the reason why expats and remote workers are so incentivized to move to the Philippines is typically because of the affordability aspect with this kind of exchange rate. But needless to say, that's unfortunately thrown out the window and you kind of lose the whole point of even moving here in the first place if you're looking to build your career here and you're looking to earn in peso. That said, wrapping up point number 1, the Philippines is not for you if you're not earning in foreign currency. Moving on, and number 2, the Philippines is not for you if you are impatient. Plain and simple, the majority of the things here in the Philippines move way slower than in the West. From the way that relationships are ran, to running your daily errands, to handling your visa work at immigration, to processing paperwork, to doing business, to punctuality, even down to the pace that the people walk here. Everything here is slower. The only thing faster here in the Philippines than in the West is the pace at which people pick up the mic to sing karaoke. Now, I know it may sound brash towards the Philippines, but coming from Chicago, that's just the reality here. And unless you can accept this reality here, living here day in and day out just might get on your nerves. Because I'll tell you, one thing that I've developed here after living here for 5 years is the almighty virtue of patience. And don't get me wrong, me and other expats alike from the States could clench our fists and pound down the table and get angry saying, gosh, in the States it would have taken this amount of time, or why is everything taking so long? But the fact of the matter is, we're in the Philippines now, and while we do what we can to speed certain things up, We are in a completely different country with a completely different pace of life. Let me give you an example. When it comes to working with the Bureau of Immigration and processing paperwork, sometimes it can take ages. In the Philippines, the most common phrase to hear here is, "For a while, sir." And if there's anything that takes a while here, it's without a doubt the bureaucracy. When it comes to filing the most simplistic paperwork or getting a response back, it takes forever. Things that take a couple hours in the US can drag over for a few days here. So when you go to the US Embassy or immigration, it's not uncommon to see people waiting in long lines for hours. That's why it's best to handle your paperwork online if you can, or at least work with somebody who knows what they're doing, is trustworthy, and can expedite the process if possible. Which, speaking of, if you need someone who can handle the A to Z logistics of this Philippine transition for you, you may apply for our expat relocation services in the link down below, and I'll see if I can help you out. We cover everything from securing your ideal rental unit for you, to acquiring your retirement visa, obtaining healthcare, and opening up a local Philippine bank account. So to wrap up point number 2, you need to have patience in the Philippines, and we'll leave this point at that because I don't even want to get started on the level of patience that you need to have when it comes to the traffic here. Now at number 3, the Philippines is not for you if you expect to live dirt cheap. The whole "I live like a king on $500 per month" is the biggest pack of lies in the Philippine vlogging space. If you want to only spend $500 to $1,000 per month here, by all means do whatever you may, but do remember you get what you pay for. Because yes, we always talk about how the Philippines is cheap relative to the States, which is very true, but don't expect the Philippines to be dirt cheap. Let's talk about this. What are your non-negotiables when choosing a place to live? Would you say safety is important? How about cleanliness, or low crime rates, or even being near a competent medical facility and hospital? These are all variables of daily life that contribute to having a high quality lifestyle in any country you go to. And so if living on as little as possible is the main priority for you, that's fine, but also don't be surprised if the variables we just talk about for a high quality lifestyle will be compromised. If you want all the things that we just talked about, needless to say, you will have to pay for it. Moving on to point number 4, the Philippines is not for you if you don't have an open mind. Obviously, this country being in Southeast Asia, you already know how diverse and exciting it can be. From the food to the culture to the people to the dialects, there's never a dull moment here unless you choose there to be. And so if you come here with a close-off mentality, needless to say, you will get caught off guard. That's why, despite me being Mr. BGC, which is the most Western city in the Philippines and quite frankly is a bubble, I still always advocate that you do have an open mind when you come here. To be frank, I think a common problem that many Americans, including myself initially when I first came here, have is this mentality of, "Oh, but in the States, it's like this." And we often perceive that the way that things are done in the States is the bar and is the standard, and that's how it should be everywhere else in the world. But this mentality in and of itself is skewed, because if that's the case, why even move to the Philippines? Why not just stay in the States? So having an open mind will make your move to the Philippines so much smoother. Yes, there's traffic. We live in Southeast Asia. Yes, the condos and houses are smaller. That's just how it is here. Yes, the people move slower here. It's because they're not just caught up with the rat race and purely just work. The earlier you accept, yes, there will be some adjusting that I have to do and I'm down for the ride, the smoother your transition will be here. Moving on to the 5th and last point. The Philippines is not for you if you have any sort of chronic health issues. If you're dealing with ongoing illnesses or some sort of health condition, of course I would recommend that you stay in your home country. Because chances are, number 1, you already have a trusted doctor or physician there. And 2, let's not deny, the US and Europe have some of the best medical facilities in the world to treat any medical conditions. From the medicine available to the equipment and the well-trained professionals, it's more ideal in the West. And that's not to say that you can't be well taken care of in the Philippines. However, I do not believe it's to the degree that you will be taken care of in the States with the better hospital there. And so I know this point is very obvious. That said, if you have any chronic health issues, it's best to play it safe and just stay in your home country. That is, unless you truly want to live the very last year of your life here. In that case, no one's stopping you. And so there you have it, savvy expats. If you fall into any one of these 5 categories, then the Philippines may not be for you. As always, if you're planning on moving here but you need a bit extra guidance, you can always check out our free 15-step Philippine arrival checklist in the link in the description down below. From finding your rental to navigating the visa and banking processes here, we cover all of this in this guide. If you need assistance taking a step further, rather than just information, but a done-for-you service to handle all of this to take the stress off this big transition, you can always book a call with me in the link in the description down below, and I'll see if I can help you out. And so thank you for watching Savvy Expats. As always, it was a pleasure, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless.